What's up guys, it's Flash with tradingwithflash.com. Welcome back to another episode of live trading tips and patterns. It is a screen share, so stay tuned. So guys, welcome back to another live trading tip video. Today's stock that I'm actually going over is because I traded this one and I want to just kind of break it down for you the best way I can. Is SNGX. This one is a 15 million float. It did have great news this morning. That it was patent. It got a patent in Europe. And again, it's a low float. It's under 20 million. It did hit highs of 155. So that's one of the reasons why I really like this. It had great news. It was a low float. It looked well pre-market. It started to look pretty shitty when the market opened. We opened up around here, 9:30. But nonetheless, I actually traded this. Now I did take a loss on it, and that's why I wanted to break it down for you. So let's get straight into it. So when we opened up, we had started to pull back. Again, this is a 5-minute chart. I'm showing you on the 5-minute chart that looks a bit neater. Although when I'm explaining my entries, you'll be kind of thinking, well, why did I get in here? But you can't see them as well as when I switched them to a 2. So I'm just going to break it down on the 5-minute. So my first entry here was about 125. I got in when it was pulling back. And then we start to break down further. Again, I got in, I think, about 117. I averaged it down into it. And again, my final average was down here, about 113. Now, bear in mind, my stop was about 110. So I don't recommend doing this all the time, averaging down into things. Solely being, it can be tricky sometimes to manage your risk. And if you're a beginner trader, this isn't really a technique that you want to learn how to use. So I'm not really recommending averaging down. But nonetheless, what I done there was I was bringing down my average entry, and I got it down to about 116, I think, my average entry, or 115. I ended up having on average, roughly. So it wasn't too bad. Now, when I was in this, I started to see this kind of, move this out of the way for a second. It kind of making lower highs, and I kind of looked and I said, okay, maybe we're curling up here. So on this red candle, ignore this side of the chart for now. Thought maybe we're getting a U shape here. Okay, in early days of a U shape, but we would rather be in it early than in it late. So I'm thinking, great, we're getting a U shape here. I'll potentially be selling around VWAP if we don't break through with strength and confirm a full U shape breakout. We didn't, and it started to make higher lows then. Then what I started to notice on this pattern was it was making a kind of a falling wedge or a bearish pattern, whatever you want to call them. And I was reading the candle patterns off this, and I started to see the pattern forming. Now, bear in mind, my stop was at 110. So my stop on this, let me just line it out for you. My stop was there, about 110, okay? I had an average of, I think, 116, 117 maybe. I can't exactly remember, but 116 or 117, let's say my average was. Now, when this started to form here, I seen this straight away, a complete bear flag or a rising wedge. There's many different names for it, but this is what you have to be quick spotting these patterns. If you can see, there's the pole, there's the flag. Now, this can go two ways. It can break out or it can break under. So what I was watching here on this one was the level 2s, the time and sales, and the volume. Now, I did get out of this trade for a loss. I got out, I think, at 115 or 114. It was a small loss. It would have been a much bigger loss here down here to 110. But what I kind of adjusted to was reading the pattern. I read the pattern and I got out for a small loss. Not the end of the world. Again, managing your risk is properly, but I got out just before this big dump here. And the reason being is, as I said, the volume, level 2s, time and sales. And exactly off this candle pattern was one of the reasons why I would have exited as well. That's a bearish candle pattern. That's an inverse hammer. So straight away I'm out of the trade when I see that, especially next to this red one. It shows we're weak here at the top. and we're not breaking to the upside, exit the trade straight away. That's why understanding candle patterns can be so important, and that's why I thought I knew them at the start when I was trading. I've said it 1,000,001 times, and I hadn't got a clue how to trade them. It's not just where they open, where they close. There's a lot to it, and investing time into studying candle patterns, I promise you, it will save you so much money in the end. For example, this, I got out for like a 3-cent loss instead of maybe a 7-cent loss or a 10-cent loss. So it helps you kind of enter and exit trades appropriately. Now, if I was a beginner trader, I would have probably stayed in this trade and said, you know what, no, I said I'm going to get out at 110, and until it hits 110, I'm out. And that's where you kind of have to learn to adapt to trading and saying, look, I could have a big loss here. I'd rather minimize it here because we're breaking down. You know what, I was wrong. I'm getting out of trade. This trade was terrible. Okay, I averaged down into this, and that's a shit trade, 100%. I don't recommend doing it. But the point of the video was, I just wanted to make you aware of when the patterns pop up, to be quick to see the patterns, to learn the candle patterns themselves, and just exit your trade then if you're not feeling it as well. I kind of missed a couple of other entries on different stocks like BOXL and Blink and stuff like that because I was in this stock, and time is money. And a guy in one of our chats, great trader, kind of made the point clear, like, look, time is money here as well. And I kind of realized, you know what, you're dead right. If we don't break this pattern here to the upside, I'm out. And I got out just before the break to the downside. So again, small loss on this trade. Not the biggest video I've ever done, but I think it holds a lot of value in it for you guys, just to be quick, seeing the trade either work or not work, minimizing your risk, and just get the hell out of Dodge. So that's it, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time watching the video. Once again, thanks for your support. I have prepared a new link of reviews, and there also is a free PDF cheat sheet in the link in the description, and it kind of covers all these patterns that I'm talking about, and that's absolutely free. So go check it out, guys. Once again, thanks for your support, and God bless. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. There is a link in the description below. I've prepared a full module of everything you need to know how to get started in the stock world from A to Z, all the way from what platforms to use to affordable education. And I go into huge detail about candles. Check that link, guys. I hope you all enjoy.